In the heart of a great kingdom, there was a king named Farouk. He was a wise and compassionate ruler, but despite his just reign, his kingdom suffered from severe poverty. The palaces were filled with luxury, yet the kingdom's coffers were empty. His realm lived in dire scarcity, and the king wished he could provide a better life for his people. King Farouk would go every day to the grand hall in his palace, where he would meet with his advisors to discuss ways to improve conditions. But despite all his efforts, poverty was ravaging his kingdom. One dark night, while the king was walking through the forest near his palace, he lost his way. As he wandered among the dense trees, he felt something strange on the ground. Looking down, he found an old broken lamp covered in dust and dirt. The king thought for a moment and said to himself, "Perhaps this lamp is just an old keepsake, but what if it holds a greater meaning?" He picked up the lamp and rubbed it. As he did so, the lamp burst forth with a blinding light, and a mass of swirling blue smoke emerged, transforming into a massive genie with a long beard and eyes that sparkled like stars. The genie bore features that exuded a mix of wisdom and strength. The genie spoke in a deep voice. "O king, I am the genie who has resided in this lamp for thousands of years. I have finally been released by you. I will grant you 3 wishes, and you are free to choose them as you wish. But beware, for each wish will alter your fate." The king hesitated for a moment, knowing that wishes could come with unseen consequences. But he was in desperate need to improve his kingdom's state, so he decided to make his first wish. "My first wish is to possess enormous wealth, not for myself alone, but for my people, so I can provide them with food, education, and clothing, as we are in dire need of these resources," the king said. The genie smiled and said, "Your first wish is granted. You will find wealth overflowing in your kingdom's coffers. But remember, money is not the only key to prosperity." Suddenly, the palace coffers were filled with gold and silver, along with vast quantities of grains and resources. The people's lives improved significantly, marketplaces thrived, and everyone lived in prosperity. However, after some time, the king began to worry. The wealth had made some hearts covetous, and conflicts arose over distribution. Corruption slowly seeped into the palace. The king pondered over the situation and decided to approach the remaining wishes with greater caution. "My second wish is to live a very long life, enabling me to lead my kingdom wisely for as long as possible," he said. The genie replied, "Your second wish is granted, but a long life is not an easy gift, for it carries a great burden." The years passed, and King Farouk lived in good health, but over time he began to feel isolated. He witnessed the deaths of many friends and advisors. He remained alive while the world around him transformed, and he started feeling lonely in his grand palace. As the years rolled on, he became a ruler without peers, and his extended reign became a burden. Finally, the king said, "My third wish is to be loved by my people and to rule my kingdom in peace, founded on justice." The genie smiled again and said, "Your third wish is granted. But remember, true love does not come from wealth or longevity, but from the values you instill in the hearts around you." As the genie vanished, the kingdom began to transform fundamentally. The king became fairer in his decisions and looked beyond mere wealth. He engaged his people in decision-making and opened the palace doors to listen to their grievances and hopes. He dedicated significant time in his life to educating and guiding the youth. Ultimately, the king learned the greatest lesson. True happiness does not lie in wealth, time, or power, but in how one lives with others. As the days passed, the people began to see King Farouk as a wise leader, not just because of his wealth or long life, but due to his wisdom and commitment to justice and equality. He became beloved by all, and no one felt discriminated against in the kingdom. King Farouk lived with an inner peace, not only as the longest living king, but also as the wisest. As for the genie, he disappeared after completing his mission, returning to his place in the old lamp. But King Farouk never forgot that moment and what he learned from the genie in that dark forest.